what do you think the chances are the Russian, Chinese, Iranians, and other intelligence agencies were reading her emails in real time or hacked them? Because there's reports out there, there's multiple reports that it was going on.
I do not actually know the answer, but I have been looking for the answer, and I have been following wise people like Mike Hayden, who I think probably knows a lot more about this than I do. And I don't know whether it's intuitive on his part, but my intuition is the same as his. He said, obviously, of course, this was picked up. I mean, I could say this. My security people from time to time would say, you ought to know this, and we're going to have some extra people around your residence tonight because. Why? Well, your picture showed up in a cave in Tora Bora or something like that. Well, you think, how in the heck, what? I tell you, the world is global. Stuff gets picked up. People know where you live. They know your street. I get mail from people who, I think I'm their therapy probably, but it says, I know exactly where you live. And I see a car in your driveway. And, they just Google it and come, right down. There it is. That's how we live today. So the security issue is an issue. And if anybody is kidding themselves thinking that they've got privacy, we haven't talked about the 5 real threats to America, but number one, I agree with Clapper on this, it's cybersecurity. We have the greatest dependency on our biggest vulnerability. It doesn't take a lot of thinking to think about that's not a good equation. And where would we be if all of a sudden the net went down or the grid went down or something bad happened? I would never have gotten here today. Extraordinary, this stuff we depend on and take for granted these days. It's very vulnerable, actually, and I'm not going to get into that. But you think about the threats that are out there, the macro aggressors, Putin and China, the Woodley Island is now a new naval base. Woodley Island is not even a shoal, for God's sake. It wasn't until yesterday. I mean, and now it's a reinforced shoal in the South Pacific. So you've got the macro aggression going on. You've got cyber. You've got the radicals, the fundamentalists. You've certainly got nuclear proliferation, which continues to be a worry. We always worry about that stuff because it's still not accounted for. But the last one is what I call the pogo dystopia, and that is we've met the enemy, and it's us. And I honestly believe Washington is in dystopia these days. We are not functioning. And if you think we're not functioning, think about it. We're going to have a Supreme Court justice. No, we're not. You pick the subject of the day. We're going to do it. No, we're not. We're going to do this. No, we're not. And that's not just gridlock. I mean, that is so now ingrained and cultural in Washington that nothing is happening. And how we're going to get out of this, I don't know. It's a leadership issue. Mm-hmm. The people of this country, I think, frankly, are so outraged, so annoyed, that what you're seeing is a manifestation out there in this campaign of things that people like me, who are old-fashioned logical thinkers about politics, are just astonished. Donald Trump? What? I mean, come on.
Did you hear what Mike Hayden said about Donald Trump's waterboarding comment the other day? He said if Donald Trump wants to waterboard somebody, he better bring along his own bucket.
That's Michael's comment on waterboarding. He's absolutely right. I will tell you the promises made and the caution that we took in the agency. I know George did, I did, Mike did. I mean, these programs were shut down every time there was a whiff of yellow came out of the hill. We would start to say, they're getting trembly up there. Shut it down till we get an opinion here that we're still on the track. We got to have the political people and the legal people with us. And I can't tell you how many times and what close exam. If you read this book by the psychiatrist who helped develop it, Jensen and I want to say James at this. I don't think it's right. And shame on me. I'm just tired. But anyway, the care that we went into there, and then I can distinctly remember saying, people reach out, hey, we've got your back, we've got your back. And I said, well, wait a minute, you're not going to be in the White House forever. You're only in the White House another couple of years. What about my back after you leave? Well, it's come to pass. And a lot of people are constantly being investigated, and this is not a happy moment. So the dispiriting in the agency is real. It affects our overseas mission. And the agency has its bureaucratic side, of course. It's inside the Beltway, so the bureaucracy grows faster than the overseas mission. But the overseas mission is still the vital, unique link, operational capability, thing that we have that saves us every day. And every president knows it sooner or later. And thank God for the men and women doing that and the way we do it. And when you start saying it's only good for as long as I'm here, we're not going to protect you, your country's not going to protect you anymore, you suddenly take away some of the resolve of some of these people who are doing some great things. They'll make sacrifices, they're great Americans. But if you say, but we might put you in jail if we change our mind, it's not exactly encouragement. So that's the problem. And yeah, I sure as heck wish that Trump hadn't said that, because it started the whole debate again, and everybody went into their corner and dialed up their favorite people in the press, their favorite people in the human rights crowd, the favorite people in the civil rights, the libertarians. They all started putting articles back in the paper. The Senate staff got all cranked up again. They got all of us on the agency side cranked up again to defend ourselves. So, I mean, it wasn't helpful. And I have no idea what Donald Trump would do. But if my choices are Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, I've got a definite clue that people are upset in this country.